what is bioethics? What is ethics basically? Ethics is basically the moral values which we must deal with any aspect or with any topic. So bioethics is basically the legal, social, and philosophical issues related to medicine and life sciences. So when we are talking about bioethics, we are basically dealing with the social issues, that if we are talking about modernization, we are talking about biotechnology, we are talking about inventions and researches, then what these inventions or researches, we know that they do have positive impact, but we also have to consider that they should not have any kind of a detrimental or negative effect on animals or humans or to plants or to environment. All these aspects, they come under bioethics. So if we are talking about bioethics, basically there are three disciplines of bioethics. First is medical ethics. Second is animal ethics. And third is environmental ethics. When we are talking about medical ethics, then medical ethics is basically what kind of a relation a physician should have with his patient. It gets introduced around 500 BC with the introduction of Hippocratic Oath, which a physician or a medical practitioner generally takes after completion of his studies. It tells about the relationship between a physician and a patient. Next is animal ethics. In animal ethics, we consider that whatever invention or modernization with sciences we are doing, they should not be detrimental or harmful to the animals. That is, the animals, they are considered as, it is considered that humans, they have originated from animals, and animals are the ancestors of humans. So it becomes our moral value that they should not be harmed by any kind of our invention. Like if we consider xenotransplantations, or we consider about legitimacy in zoos, circuses. Like if you are talking about xenotransplantation, so the most common example is that the organs generally most of the time they are transferred from pig to humans. So it should not be done, because for benefiting a human we are sacrificing an animal. Third is environmental ethics, in which we deal with the non-human or non-living part of the universe, that is the environment. Whatever activity we are doing, it should not be harmful to the plants, to the ecosystem, to the environment, to the air. Okay? These are the three disciplines of bioethics. When we are talking about bioethics, it always means that performing an activity in such a manner that it should not be harmful to others, and it should be morally correct. For performing an activity or an event under bioethics, there are 6 approaches. First is Kantianism, second is utilitarianism, third is four principle approach, next is virtue ethics, and casuistry, and last is feminist approach. Now talking about different approaches, first of all, the Kantianism approach says that action is correct when it includes all the moral agents, that is, the action must be universalizable, it should be correct in its performance, it should include all the moral agents, like for example, it should include autonomy, it should include dignity and human rights. That if we brief the Kantianism approach, then we will say that it includes that the action is correct if it is universalizable and it contains all moral agents. Talking about utilitarianism, it includes that if you are performing an action, then the action must be in such a manner that the consequences of the action brings happiness to maximum number of people. That is it is based on the happiness of the people. If your action is bringing happiness to maximum number of people in that particular situation, then you are following utilitarianism approach. Next is four principle approach. It is generally included in the behavior of health practitioners, and it includes four aspects, that is, it includes autonomy, beneficence and non-maleficence, and last is justice. These are the four components of four principle approach. Autonomy means that a health practitioner, that is a physician, should respect the particular decision of the patient. If what the patient is saying, the health practitioner must listen to it and should respond properly and should treat him as an individual and should respond to his decision accordingly. Next is beneficence. The aim of the practitioner, health practitioner or a physician, must be to do best for his patient, that is beneficence. Non-maleficence is to do no harm, it is to do good and it is to do no harm. And last is justice. Justice means that in a particular condition, the practitioner must have the ability to take the right decision to handle the particular situation. Next is virtue ethics. In virtue ethics, we are talking about doing right action with right motive. That is, virtue means that is not visible, not real. So virtue ethics means that if you are performing a action, what motive you have is important. Next is feminist. Feminist bioethics generally deals with the equal empowerment of women as that of men. Basically, we are talking about feminist bioethics in medical sciences. The problems to which they deal with, like uh, pre-implantation diagnosis, pre-implantation diagnosis, and there are many other problems like if we are talking about medicines, then abortion, or reproductive medicines, and justice and care, and genetic diagnosis. Genetic diagnosis. These are the problems which are basically faced, and these should be suppressed, and females must be treated equally to men at the same time, and they are not lesser than men. So that's all. It is included in bioethics. Basically, we talked about what is bioethics. Bioethics is basically the legal, social, and philosophical issues related to medicine and life sciences. Then we talked that there are three disciplines of bioethics: medical ethics, animal ethics, and environmental ethics. We talked what these are. Next, we talked about the different approaches of bioethics. There are 6 approaches of bioethics: Kantianism, utilitarianism, 4 principle approach, virtue ethics, casuistry, and feminist. So these all are included as approaches. So that's all is for bioethics. Thank you.